Some people call me crazy, insane, mad. My name's Mags. G'day ladies and gents, and sorry for the cheesy intro, but considering the nature of this game, I really couldn't help myself. So today we are taking a look at Crossout. Crossout's a new post-apocalyptic multiplayer game developed by Targem Games and published by Gaijin Entertainment. Now if I had to describe this game in a single sentence, I would say Mad Max vehicular combat in an arena. The battles take place on a small arena map about the same size as a small War Thunder Ground Forces arcade map, and take place between 8 players per team. Now, currently there's a few AI mixed into the matches as a result of there not being a lot of people in the closed beta test at this time. The maps tend to come in 2 forms. They are usually objective-based, so this is a standard base capture, so there is a base for the blue team, a base for the red team. Parking inside of the bases will capture them, and defending them is a requirement. There's also an assault map where there is only one base on the map and both teams have to fight over it, winner takes all. At this point, the maps are limited to approximately 3-minute, 4-minute matches, which I will say is shorter than I would like. I would like them to get out in size, long enough for the entire teams to be destroyed if it was a possibility, but that's what they're going for at the moment at this stage in the beta. They obviously want the battles turning over quickly. And of course, the mission objectives can be completed by either capturing the enemy base or destroying all of the enemy vehicles on the enemy team. With the matches being so short, a third one is when the timer for the match runs out, the team who has destroyed the most enemy vehicles is automatically given the victory. So that's how the game plays, but what's the hook of this particular game? Well, it's actually quite simple. You are not given a vehicle and you do not unlock vehicles in order to play. You build them. You build them much like you would build a ship in Kerbal Space Program. And how you build your vehicle will define how you play it, and how well you can design your vehicle will directly affect how you perform in the match. So the vehicle I'm driving here is one of my own creations. I call this the Road Warrior Mark II. It's an updated version of the machine that I started making from almost the moment that I started playing the game. And as you can see, it's not particularly fast, but it seems to have a lot of components, and a lot of very heavy metal looking components. This thing is a bit of a tank. It's got 2 roof-mounted medium machine guns. The ute tray is almost completely filled with radiators designed to cool the machine guns down. This allows them to fire for a larger period of time. And the rest of the vehicle is designed with armour that is meant to wrap over the wheels, wrap around the sides, cover the back, even layered around the truck cab. Now, I've designed this vehicle in such a way that as it takes fire, the armour pieces that make up the vehicle will actually ablate off without destroying the key components that allow the vehicle to keep driving. And so this first battle ends by timer. We had more vehicles remaining, so victory is automatically going to us. This next battle is a assault map. There is only one base to capture. Both teams are going to be fighting over it, and again, I'm in the same vehicle. You'll actually notice a lot of the players in this match will be almost exactly the same. The way the matchmaking for this works is you are slotted into a match of players that are playing, and once you are in a battle sequence, the battles will automatically pop once every 10 seconds, and the same players will face one another over and over again. However, the teams will be constantly randomized. But I'll talk more about the matchmaking in a moment. So as I said, the vehicle itself here is designed so that it ablates components away in order to increase its survivability over time. And this is important because every single component that you attach to your vehicle can be removed from it over the course of a battle. So as you can see at the moment with my machine guns, as I'm shooting the target, I'm constantly applying damage over and over and over to the vehicle. However, that's not applying to an individual health pool. Each and every component that you attach to your vehicle has its own individual health pool. As you destroy these components, they will just fall off and scatter onto the ground, as you see there. The more components you destroy, the vehicle will eventually disintegrate itself. Your key targets will always obviously be the weapons systems, any side armor protecting the cab or the core of the vehicle, the wheels in order to have them come off and immobilize it, so on and so forth. Destroying a vehicle requires you get to the core. In the case of my vehicle, the actual ute or truck front that is inside of all the armor. Putting shots into that and destroying that will instantly destroy the entire vehicle. And there are different core or cab or cockpit designs depending on what faction you're aligned with that you can potentially have, everything from trucks to aircraft cockpits. Now, the weapon systems that you use to destroy these components and take out your enemy are extremely varied. At the moment, I'm using medium machine guns. There are, of course, light, heavy, and a minigun variant that is available. There are also shotguns, auto shotguns, and assault shotguns that can be mounted depending on what level and quality that you have available. You can also step up to cannons with 20, 25mm, I think there is a 37mm, a 76mm and an 88mm, and these come in different forms, from fixed with limited traverse up to full-blown turrets. Then there are spikes, blades, chainsaws, giant knives you can attach, explosive spears, just like the most recent Mad Max movie. You can get those, attach them to your vehicle, and then as you drive your vehicle into an enemy vehicle, they will detonate on contact, blowing huge chunks out of the enemy vehicle. You can also get drones. Some of the more advanced weapon systems, you can actually deploy an aerial drone that will follow you around and will automatically attack targets. They generally have limited ammunition and almost no health, very easy to destroy. However, they can put out substantial damage against targets that you would otherwise be unable to hit. There's also a variety of propulsion methods ranging from tyres and wheels, as you see here, up to tank tracks. You can also fit additional engines in order to increase your vehicle's speed, or fit rocket boosters if you are so inclined in order to get boosts of power out. There are some people that have actually built vehicles that are equipped with so many rockets that you can jump them across the map. So, with such a wide variety of systems, how do you balance the matches? Well, at the moment the balance still needs a little bit of work, I feel, but it's not horrible, and I can see exactly how they're looking to do it. Basically, the way it works, when you start the game, you have a very limited access to the number of parts you can apply in the vehicle, both in the variety of parts and the number you can attach to a vehicle. As you level up with various factions in the game, you slowly get access to not only more individual components that you can attach, but the number of parts that you can attach to your vehicle. So your vehicles get bigger and more elaborate as time goes on, with more flexibility becoming available at a later time. However, you won't face people with vehicles that are much higher than your own. Each and every component that is attached to your vehicle has a points value. The more components and higher quality components that you attach to your vehicle, the higher points value your end vehicle is going to have when you take it into battle. The matchmaker then takes that points value and matches you against vehicles with a comparative points value. At the moment the range is a little wide, but there are very few people playing the game at this point, and it is closed beta, so things will get tweaked over time. And that was a massive hit from a 76mm cannon, and as you can see, while the vehicle was designed to ablate well against machine guns and shotguns, direct cannon fire can cause it issues. And of course I don't have the system installed on that allows me to right the vehicle by myself, and I think I'm the only player left alive on my team, and the AI will not put you back on your wheels. So, well, I'm not necessarily not dangerous and out of the fight yet, but I'm not going to be moving far from this position. Now, while we wait for this match to end, I did mention factions just a moment ago. There are 3 factions in the game, plus the standard faction that you start with. Each one has its own feel. The Nomads are based around aviation components. The Scavengers are based around basically tank and heavy industry components. And then of course there's the Lunatics, which are basically all the bad guys out of Mad Max combined into a single faction. They're the ones with the explosive spears and all the knives and so on and so forth. You level up with each faction by simply just going into matches and shooting stuff with your vehicle, whichever vehicle, using whichever components you want. You can level up all the factions, but you can only do one at a time and eventually get access to all of the components within the game. And there is a crafting mechanic that is attached into the game as well, where you can take various components that you'll get as rewards for completing matches and use them to produce higher quality parts that you may not normally get access to. The parts that you can construct or produced are based entirely around whatever faction you happen to be aligned with. So, building a vehicle in Crossout. What you're watching now is going to be a time-accelerated construction of the Arse Ender Mark I. Now, what this is, well, I was sort of making it as I was going along, to be perfectly honest, but it turned out to actually be a fairly acceptable vehicle. It uses the cab section of what is effectively a Volkswagen combi van as the lead component, or the core of the vehicle. The vehicle is going to be 6 wheels with steering wheels at the front and rear, allowing it an incredibly tight turning circle, and I'm going to mount a 76mm cannon facing backwards off the vehicle. The idea is it backs up into combat, lines up on the target, and shoots it, and if it needs to run away, you just hit the accelerator and drive away. And here comes the 76mm cannon, fitted facing rearwards. Now, The construction of the vehicle, you'll notice I play around with the various components that appear to not be really servicing anything. The idea here is I'm layering on a blade of armour like I did with the previous vehicle, but I'm also taking into account the firing arcs for the cannon. So this cannon is a fixed cannon, can only fire backwards facing rear, it cannot fire left or right. So I want to cover the cannon up from the sides so it can't be attacked by machine gun fire and blown off the vehicle. But at the same time, while I do want to defend the rear of the vehicle and the wheels, I do not want to obstruct the line of fire and the gun depression of the cannon itself. So there's actually quite a lot of thinking that it takes to go into a vehicle, and you are playing with limited componentry. You will unlock more components as you play more battles, and you will be able to construct some over time, but you are still limited by what you've got. And also, if you have multiple vehicles, as I do, components used on one vehicle cannot be used on another. Once they are assigned to a vehicle, if you want those components, you have to remove them from the previous vehicle. Now with the 76mm cannon defended appropriately, I'm now laying panels around the outside. The idea is to put layers upon layers, so the cannon and machine gun fire coming in will blow off small outer components, leaving the core of the vehicle intact. And then we finally finish it off with a machine gun just as a secondary armament. So there it is, the Arsender Mark I, and that is how you build a vehicle in Crossout. Once you've completed construction, you have the option of taking it out and testing it against AI before putting it into a real battle to see whether or not it works, or you can just jump straight into it and trial by fire. The game itself is actually quite a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying playing it so far. My only complaint is really at the moment the matches are a little bit too short for my liking. I would like to see the matches out at around the 8 to 10 minute mark so there's enough time to really dig into the opposing team. Anyways, ladies and gents, let me know what you think of this game. Does it look good? Does it look interesting? Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about it as well, and I may cover it in future videos. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more. Drive smart, drive safe, and I'll catch you in the wasteland.